Hello and welcome. Good evening, everyone. My name is Gopal Krishnan, Associate Editor of Thermal Control Magazine. I welcome you to the Thermal Control Magazine's interactive session on advancement in MEP and preventive maintenance. I have my colleague Rajesh, editorial, Thermal Control Magazine, to introduce the panelists and tell you more about this interactive session. I welcome Ms. Rajeshwari to take over and moderate the session.
Thank you, Mr. Gopal. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thermal Control Magazine's interactive session on advancement in MEP and preventive maintenance. HVAC provides comfortable, conditioned air for residential, commercial, and multi-use buildings. In contrast, MEP systems include all fire protection, security, data, design, and construction considerations, etc., one of which is HVAC. Hence, future prediction for MEP components is vital. Since BIM includes data on MEP components, it can be updated with routine inspections or building systems modification. MEP project management software, similar to productivity tracking software, allows detailed tracking, documentation, and reporting. The MEP concerns developing policies, standards, inspection procedures, and evaluation tools. MEP firms leverage fabrication software to provide real-time insights for better decision-making. By connecting BIM, fabrication, and field teams users can reduce costs and increase productivity, efficiency, and safety. BIM and IoT have the potential to improve the efficiency of facility maintenance. Facility managers conduct preventive maintenance strategies in building maintenance management. Advanced capabilities such as AI and predictive analytics require reliable information. Technologies such as AI, machine learning, IoT, and others are making their way into various operational processes. They utilize real-time data for predictive and corrective strategies. These help to reduce unplanned downtime and maintenance costs and build sustainable operation. Integrating preventive maintenance techniques in HVAC systems is going along with design phase changes for MEP contractors. On this note, Thermal Control Business Update will host an interactive session cum conference on advancement in MEP and preventive maintenance. During this 90-minute session, HVACR industry experts will discuss trends, advancement of technology for MEP future and optimization, HVAC automation, preventive maintenance tools, skilling and increasing role of MEP. It's an honor and a privilege for me to introduce you to today's distinguished speakers. Mr. Mahesh Bhatte, the head MEP of Joy Village Shapurji Housing Private Limited, Mr. Mohit Sharad Mahajan, senior mechanical engineer at KPM Engineering Consultants, and Mr. Prakash Lewis, Head Regional Application Consultant at Belimo Automation India Private Limited.
Meanwhile, we have received many questions, so we'll try to address as many questions as possible by our experts. The first question is from Mr. Prakash Lewis. Rightly said, small devices make big impact. You are talking about valves and sensors, thermal energy meters, innovations, etc. I want to ask you, the future is about integration and automation. How will AI and automation impact MEP operations?
Yes, being fully aware of this futuristic trend, when you look at the Belimo products, I would say we are already taken care of this need. When it comes to the energy valve, it is an IoT-based product. When it comes to many of our actuators, again, they are IoT-based. So the data which is available on these products can be passed on to the higher end system. And that is the way the small devices make a big impact.
Yeah, rightly said. They make the things more bigger. Mr. Mahesh, you were talking about MEP design and commissioning, modeling and maintenance, and mentioning about 3D, 4D, etc. That includes every operation. So while talking about automation and IoT, do we have enough skilled workforce available for MEP? Or what kind of workforce challenges do you see?
Rightly asked, Mr. Gopalji. We are facing challenges for expert MEP guys in the industry, specifically with the modeling thing. Most of the guys are not equipped with modeling things. So we have to educate them and we have to make them more educational. In the same line, at end users, like us, we have to take it as a challenge and make kind of educational things be put forward to expertise the MEP guys in the sectors actually. And specifically for the contractors, I'm requesting all the contractors to educate all these staff because we are facing lot more challenges from contractor sides also.
Yeah, right. There is an acute shortage of the skilled workforce that has to be trained. Mr. Mohit, what are your views about this? Do we have enough skilled force available?
Yes, so basically we are in the BPM, basically we are in the consulting. So we have that expertise in particularly BIM modeling. Then we are also doing the energy modeling. We are also doing that particular right from the 2D drawings to till the we are using that BIM as a for the particular design purpose along with the engineering. So quantification along with the BIM and the multi. So we can use that, and we have that skill workforce.
So you are dealing with so many softwares, and
Yes.
for that training is to be done.
Yeah.
So further to it, what design changes are necessary for HVACR manufacturers from MEP perspective?
So particularly design changes can see that we have multiple feedback from the end user, particularly in which just rightly Mahesh also said that particular part in the earlier design state means particular when he gave in the presentation. So feedback came from the client to us, and that particular with the operation of the existing buildings which are in their particular premises. So that end user give the feedback to the client. So that client we have that mechanism in which we take the client feedback based, for two, and that particular feedback we given to the manufacturer. So that with respect to the operations and with respect to the design challenges, so we are in continued in discussion with the manufacturer based on that particularly compliance with the codes, and if that particular any product is not in the compliance. So and the particular we are in discussion just like rightly energy meters and all that value products which presented by Prakash. So we and our requirement which we are trying to particularly any new proposal from our side. So we particularly pass on to the feedback to the manufacturers like the limo and all these our teammates.
Rightly said about that. Mr. Prakash, what are your views about this design changes necessary for HVACR manufacturers as you are into making the small devices from the MEP perspective?
We are now witnessing that there is a great requirement for data based on which the decisions are to be made. Earlier that was not the case. Now you look at the energy valve. The energy valve, apart from controlling the flow, is also sensing the supply and the written water temperatures. Typically, I would say a couple of years back, whenever we designed a simple input-output summary for a AHU, we merely monitored only the supply air temperature based on which the valve was modulated. But today, in order to make the overall system perform more energy efficiently, I would say more information is needed, because it is very critical to measure the supply and the written water temperatures, because delta T plays a very vital role in making sure that the systems are performing optimally. So yes, there is a big change which is taking place. You will see in times to come, I would say a simple damper actuator will no longer be a damper actuator. It will also be having the provisions to in turn directly take in the analog input based on which the dampers would modulate or it would operate. So those changes will be taking place not very long from now. It will happen very shortly.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Prakash, for highlighting that point. Mr. Mahesh, would you like to add something to it from the MEP perspectives?
No, it has actually been added by Prakash and Mohit. It is more need to be data. Actually, more data is to be needed and more thorough detailing also needed. These two guys are cover almost the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so can you elaborate upon what opportunities are available for MEP in Indian market?
Opportunities available in terms of actually, I can say there are three markets in the Indian industry.
Right.
One is at developer side, mid-level is at KPM side, say consultant side, and third is at say supplier side or say manufacturing side. So there are a lot more opportunities in MEP. MEP industry is growing because in last 2 decades I'm observing when I have started my thing, that time there is no kind of MEP department is there, and nowadays MEP department is there, and we are discussing about IoT and all those AI stuff and more detailing and more data to increase our maintenance and operation stuff to be maintained. To the kind of pool of data, I can say there are a lot more integration, there are a lot more logics we are thinking. So there are a lot more opportunities are moving on in MEP market, and it is going well nowadays. And people are also thinking about efficient things, more serviceable things, more sustainable things. So overall approach and thoughts are changing nowadays, and MVP will definitely grow very good ways.
Definitely, that is bound to grow the way things are moving on. So, Mr. Mohit, what is your view about the opportunities available in the MVP market?
Yeah. So basically, in the opportunity side, so we are in the world where we are going to basically from the our nation side, we are strongly to the we are in the going to go in the highly infrastructure is going to go in a next level. Then you are our each and every you are in right from the infrastructure, building services, metros, right from the all the whenever you can take that particular point, their requirement of MEP is there. So requirement of MEP comes, then your end customer, then your contractor, then your consultant, then your manufacturer, and the service provider, and then even the your annual maintenance contract and all these things will be in the picture. So here the opportunity, we can say that lot of opportunities, and we can say we need to just enter into that particular fraternity and start with our particular site.
Mr. Prakash, would you like to add about the opportunities in the HVAC market?
Yes, in fact, I would say, Bharat and Mohit both have covered, I would say, all the areas. There is one point which I would like to add in over here is that, today also there is a big change which is happening, especially when it comes to the retrofit markets. Because of the focus on the energy efficiency, I would say even the old systems which were installed maybe a decade back are now going in for a change. And I would say, but today with India becoming more and more energy efficient, as well as the same point in time, wherein there is a greater need to become more, I would say, Mother Earth friendly, I think the retrofit business is also going to contribute in a big way in times to come.
Yeah, that's rightly said. Retrofit business is going to be evolved. So, coming to the closing of session, may I request Mr. Mahesh to give a closing remarks?
So on closing remarks, I can say this way: from developer side, everybody should initiate with advanced programming, advanced software using as like beams, and these beams and advanced modelings are also helpful for constructions, your construction monitorings, as well as your maintenance also. And this will gives you a very good results afterward if your buildings are not beam friendly or not on the beam. So it's just a initial step to move on it. You just have to collect all the data and you have to get it into beam and modeling thing, and you will find a great saving in terms of your cost and energy. I can definitely say on the part this way, this advanced softwares with the help of AI and IoT, we will be definitely in the verge of saving lots of the thing on the energy also and sustainability also. That is all.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Mr. Mahesh. Cost efficiency and energy efficiency is the motto in the future. So may I request Ms. Rajeshwari to close the session, please?
Thank you, panelists, for exchanging your valuable thoughts on today's advancement in MEP and preventive maintenance. We hope you enjoyed the session thoroughly. Before wrapping up today's session, we would like to thank our distinguished panelists, Mr. Mahesh Bharte, Mr. Mohit Mahajan, Mr. Prakash Lewis. I would also like to thank Mr. Gopal Anand and Mr. Prasad Nair for taking up this initiative. We request our delegates and viewers to stay connected with us on our social media handles. Thermal Control Magazine is available on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also download our app from Google Play and App Store. So with this, we would like to announce the closing of today's session. Request you to stay tuned for more such sessions. Thank you and goodbye.